All right, today we are diving deep into one of nature's absolute marvels of engineering, the cheetah. We're going to deconstruct exactly what makes this animal such a true masterpiece of speed.
Let's just start with a number. 120 kilometers per hour. That's almost 75 miles an hour. And no, we're not talking about a sports car here. That is the top speed of a living, breathing animal. That one figure, it pretty much defines the cheetah, and it sets the stage for everything else we're about to explore.
Which, of course, brings us to the big question, right? How on earth is that even possible for a living creature? I mean, how does a body made of flesh and bone achieve that kind of performance? Well, that's what we're here to find out.
Okay, so to really get the cheetah, you have to look at its design almost like you're analyzing a Formula One car. We're going to break it down piece by piece, starting with what you can see on the outside, the external hardware.
So the first key to its speed is actually something you can't really see. It's the spine. It's incredibly long and flexible, and you can think of it like a giant, powerful spring. With every single stride, that spine coils up and then just explodes open, which massively boosts its stride length and literally launches the animal forward with incredible power. And then there's the tail. Now this is so much more than just an accessory. It's basically a rudder. It's long, it's muscular, it's a bit flattened, and while the spine is all about that forward thrust, the tail is what provides the stability. It's a perfect counterbalance that lets the cheetah whip around corners at insane speeds without wiping out. Okay, now let's look down at the feet. This is super cool. Unlike most other big cats, a cheetah's claws are only semi-retractable. They don't pull all the way in. So what does that mean? It means they're always out, digging into the dirt just like the cleats on a sprinter's shoes. This gives them constant, unbelievable traction for that mind-blowing acceleration. So, when you put it all together, you realize the cheetah's entire body is a trade-off. It's all about speed. It's got this lightweight, streamlined frame to cut through the air with these long, slender legs for maximum reach. But here's the truly astonishing part. About half its body mass is pure muscle. And get this, over 80% of its thigh muscles are fast-twitch fibers, the kind built for short, explosive bursts of power, not for long-distance runs.
So, we've looked at the chassis, right? The aerodynamics, the traction. Now, it's time to pop the hood. Let's get into the high-performance internal engine that powers this whole incredible machine.
You just can't have a sprint like that without a supercharged engine, and that's exactly what the cheetah has. We're talking an oversized heart that pumps oxygenated blood like crazy, massive lungs to gulp in huge amounts of air, and even widened nasal passages. The entire system is just designed to get as much oxygen in as fast as humanly or felinely possible. And this right here really illustrates the sheer effort involved. At rest, a cheetah takes about 60 breaths a minute, but during a full-on chase, that jumps to 150 breaths a minute. It more than doubles. It's an all-out, system-wide effort that, it just can't be sustained for very long.
So what's it actually like to live inside a body that's so perfectly but also so narrowly specialized? Let's take a look at how being the ultimate sprinter really dictates the cheetah's entire existence.
Well, its whole hunting strategy is built around that short burst of speed. It'll spot prey like a gazelle from way off, then it just explodes into a chase that lasts for maybe 60 to 100 meters. It uses its momentum to literally trip the animal and then secures the kill with a very specific suffocation bite to the throat. The whole sequence is dictated by speed, not by strength. And here's where that trade-off comes back to bite. Because the cheetah is built for speed, not a brawl, it just can't afford to get into a fight. Bigger predators like lions and hyenas would easily overpower it. So it hunts during the day to avoid them, and it has to eat its meals incredibly fast before its kill gets stolen. This specialization even shapes their social lives. Males will often form small groups or coalitions to defend a territory together. But the females? They're solitary and nomadic, constantly moving across vast ranges to find prey and raising their cubs completely on their own. Two totally different lifestyles, all shaped by the demands of their specialized body. But here's where the story takes a turn. Because the very hyper-specialization that makes the cheetah so perfectly engineered for speed also makes it incredibly fragile. It's a total paradox. Its greatest strength is, in a way, its greatest weakness. The heart of the cheetah's fragility lies in something called a genetic bottleneck. Basically, at some point way back in its history, the entire cheetah population was reduced to just a handful of individuals. They survived, but it means that every single cheetah alive today
is descended from that incredibly small gene pool.
And that has a terrifying consequence, one that conservationists are dealing with every single day. With so little genetic diversity, cheetahs are almost like biological copies of one another. So this means a single disease that one is vulnerable to could, in theory, wipe out the entire species. Their evolutionary past has left them walking a biological tightrope in the present.
And this is the reality of that tightrope today. While the largest populations are in southern Africa, other groups are fragmented and much, much smaller. And just look at the Asiatic cheetah in Iran, there are only about 50 individuals left in the wild. 50. This isn't some historical curiosity. It's a conservation crisis happening right now.
Before we finish up, it's worth remembering the cheetah is so much more than just a sprinter. It's actually the largest cat that purrs instead of roars. Those famous tear marks on its face aren't just for show, they actually help reduce sun glare, perfect for a daytime hunter. And it was so revered in ancient Egypt that it was seen as a sacred companion to pharaohs.
And so, this leaves us with the final and really critical question. The cheetah is a masterpiece of evolution, perfectly built to outrun its prey. But when you factor in habitat loss, human conflict, and its own genetic fragility, is it fast enough to outrun extinction?